All right, next, the Harmony Leadership and Education Award is presented to a school administrator in recognition of their exemplary achievements in promoting diversity in an educational institution. This award is named after Mary Samuel, who is a tireless equity champion and education leader. This year's award goes to Anne-Marie McDonald. She's a principal at the Limestone District School Board, and presenting this year's award is Ruth Flynn. She's the Director of Inclusive Education Branch at the Ministry of Education. Welcome them both up.
I'd just like to say how honored and privileged that I'm here this evening presenting this Mary Samuels Leadership and Education Award. I was so privileged to not only work with Mary, but also call her a friend. She was pivotal in when we developed Ontario's equity and inclusive education strategy, which is to identify and address systemic barriers and biases in our education system. And there are others here as well, such as Barbara Hall and Karen Mock, that were quite critical in developing this strategy. But the leadership is absolutely critical. And this is why we are here to celebrate for Anne-Marie. Because Mary was a leader and Anne-Marie is a leader. Our strategy is to realize the promise of diversity. And Anne-Marie has kept our children and youth at the forefront, having high expectations and working with not only the students and our learners, but our families and the communities, having the leadership to continue to advance the transformation agenda to really ensure that our schools are safe, inclusive, equitable, and accepting. It's my privilege to give Anne-Marie this award on behalf of Harmony.
I think I'd like to start by thanking the Harmony Movement for selecting a host who's 5'1". I'm just going to get my glasses, and I'm going to get my Kleenex ready for those of you who know me. I think a former award winner tonight talked about being humbled this evening, and that certainly is an understatement for me as well. And I've never received any recognition like this, and I have to say it's a little unsettling. People like me are used to being in charge, so we're used to giving the recognition to others, so don't really feel comfortable when I'm not writing that script. Before I make a few comments, I would like to give sincere thanks to those who nominated me and have stood by me. So thank you to Melissa Baker, Diana Oak, Andre Labrie, Krishna Burra, and my supporters from the Limestone District School Board who nominated me. I'd like to thank my husband, Brent Pickering, who's in the audience, who stood by me despite my absenteeism from our marriage and family life since we got together, basically. Being passionate about certain causes means that you sometimes leave other things or people behind, so thank you for your support. I'd like to give full appreciation to the Harmony Movement, who helped us through what I would call West Side Story, or the coming together of the Greasers and the Socias, for those of you who would understand that the Outsiders reference, if you're old enough to know that. Our school closed this past year, and we prepared students for the transition to a different school. I'd like to thank specifically Roz, Brittany, Caitlin, Shafiq from the Harmony Movement for helping me to help our students through that. Many of the people being recognized here tonight have a particular social justice issue or a cause to which they are committed, and I would say that mine has fallen along socioeconomic lines because I see how it transcends race and gender and religion and culture. Normally I train my staff to give me googly eyes when I'm getting choked up about these things, so feel free. Growing up, I often felt judged because of where I lived, where I went to school, and though I went on with my life, 30 years later, as a principal, I've learned that things like classism still exist. And I also thought that we had pushed past things like the N-word. But yet I continue to encounter that and stereotypes of Aboriginal people in my daily work. I've seen, and I'm continually reminded that we have a lot of work left to do to ensure that we don't use our white middle-class lens to look at what we do and how we do it. As educators, we want to be part of crafting school environments where kids can feel good about the school they attend instead of worrying about people thinking they're dirts because they go to the sketchy school, and where all kids think that they matter regardless of their color or where they came from or their life circumstances. I haven't experienced the depths of poverty that some of my students have. I haven't known how it feels when the color of your skin is different than the majority of people you encounter in a day. And I haven't ever had someone assume that I'm a radical because of my culture or my religion. But what I have come to realize, is that I and others all we need to do to make things better is to be willing to ask our students the questions, to be willing to listen to our students, and to use our own social capital to advocate for those who might not have any. So I'd like to thank the Harmony Movement for helping me facilitate the dialogue to make things better for our students, and to all of the people who work hard to make our schools equitable and inclusive spaces for everyone. I truly am honored and privileged to have received this award. Thank you.